everyone, welcome to another motovlog on my channel. My name is Marshall3498. Today's motovlog is something I'd like to talk about, and that is generally on my channel is motorcycle related. And the topic that I like to talk about today, and this is going to shock a lot of people that watch my channel and all that stuff, on the several adventure bikes that I've been testing over the past year, we'll say. Today I'd like to talk about I'm not rode one yet, but I am going to soon. And the topic I would like to talk about is Royal Enfield Himalayans. I know that it might be as a shocker to some people for me to even speak about that, but okay. Those of you who watch my channel a lot know that I'm in the market and looking and trying to do my research and all that stuff on an adventure bike for a second motorcycle. Not to replace my FJR, but just, as a second bike for doing some light off-roading, some back road riding like this, like what I do about 80% of the time, because interstates to me are, don't care for them. So, whatever. That's just my thing. I will ride on interstate if I have to, but I don't really like to as a whole. So, that rules out a lot of bikes of, having big horsepower and, being able to do 100 plus miles an hour on the interstate. And I just think for the money, I may hate it once I ride one, but for the money, it's pretty hard to beat a Royal Enfield Himalayan. I mean, yes, there are some quirks. I know the bike makes like 25 horsepower, and it is only single cylinder, but man, every review, every owner's review, even press release stuff. Of course, press release stuff to me is kind of a gray area, because I feel like that some of their review stuff is not totally honest, because they're getting paid to do that. But a lot of the owners, and old man Ronan, a guy I watch who lives in forget exactly what part, I think it's northern or central Ohio. He bought one used, and he's a Harley rider, and he absolutely loves the thing and has continued to really and that's really what started his motovlogging channel. Is the bikes are so popular, especially in third world countries like India, where they're made, because they don't really have, at least not that I'm aware of, they don't really have interstates, and there's lots of traffic and all that stuff. Oh, lovely. On a motovlog, we get stuck behind a pace truck doing 20. Wonderful. Whatever. Anyways, but I feel like that bike offers a lot for the money. Okay, one, I want to get started in adventure motorcycling as a whole. So I feel like that if I like the bike good enough to purchase one, they're only $5,000, brand new. You get a warranty with that. You get a brand new bike. They're really simple to work on as far as maintenance goes. They have no radiator to get a hole puncture from riding off-road, so that's a good thing. That rules out another thing. They're simple to work on. They have a pretty modest seat height. It's 30.5 inches. I've rode bikes with right at 34-inch seat height, and I could still almost flat foot them. So 31.5 for me, that's probably really close to flat foot, if not already flat footing at 5'10". But I'm not really worried about the seat height thing. But I just feel like for me to try something in adventure motorcycling, as a whole, I feel like that's nice, that guy, he let me buy. Anyways, but I feel like as me wanting to get started in adventure motorcycling, I feel like I may not like the off-road thing. If the bike moves around a lot in the gravel and it makes me uncomfortable and I just don't like it, I feel like it's a lot easier to sell a cheap bike than it is to try to sell an expensive bike, because the bike's not that much money. Maybe somebody's got a little bit of savings saved up. If I don't like it, maybe easier to sell it. And another thing too, I may try it and like it, and actually like the bike, and learn how to ride off-road and get better at it. And then maybe when I get ready to buy, let's say, a middleweight adventure bike, stuff like I've ridden, like the Tenere, the Africa Twin, stuff like that, maybe that'll make me not only a better off-road rider and be prepared to ride those bikes that much easier, or I'll have just a little bop around town bike, and I'll keep the Himalayan, or sell it and use that money to buy the bike that that I'll have for a much longer time. Who knows? I may end up just even keeping the Himalayan. I mean, they get good gas mileage. They get between 60 to 70 miles a gallon, and 4-gallon tank. So you're well easily over 200-mile tank range. Yes, I know they're not the fastest thing in the world. They'll only do about 75. But if I'm going to take that bike on, like, say, what I want to do eventually after I get used to riding off-road, I'm going to take it on the Mid-Atlantic BDR. All that route, at the very most, is 4-lane highways. So the bikes will seem like, from what I've read online and watched on YouTube and stuff, it seems like they'll do 60, 65 pretty easy without straining the bike real hard. They will run 70, 75, but you're really working the motor pretty hard at that point. But if it runs 60, 65 for what I need the bike to do, that's plenty enough for me. If I want to go somewhere to really crunch miles or take some on the interstate, I'll just take the FJR. Not that big of a deal for me. And one, the bikes are simple, they're easy to work on. If I drop the Himalayan and beat it up a little bit from learning how to ride off-road, I won't be as so much as, oh no, look what I've done, as I would to it versus something bigger and more expensive. I don't know, I just feel like that's a good place to start. There is a fairly local dealer, only a couple hours from me, that I've already talked to, and they do allow me to demo a Himalayan, so I'm going to do that soon, within the next week or so. So look forward to y'all seeing that video. Like I said, I know the bikes aren't perfect. I know they don't make a lot of power. I know they don't have the best brakes. They handle okay. They do okay for modest off-road riding, and that's what I intend to have the bike for. Love it when people do this. Throw their grass out in the middle of the road. It's great. Sorry. But, like I said, I feel like that the bikes that are out there for that, like the Himalayan, you can't even buy like a 250 or 300, even one of the new 300 rallies. If it's brand new, you can't even buy one of those for that amount of money. Most of those bikes are like 5.5, pushing 6 grand. Like the Honda 250L or the 300L. They're a little bit more than that, and those bikes are basically a dirt bike with with turn signal stuff on it. Granted, I know those bikes are probably much better off-road, but this bike for me will be like 70% on-road, 30% off-road. So the Himalayans are supposed to have really good road manners. But a lot of people, I've seen people take Himalayans through crazy stuff, like stuff I wouldn't even bother even taking a full-fledged dirt bike into. And a lot of that depends on the rider, I know. But I feel like the Himalayan, to just try out the off-road riding scene, it gets me into one cheaper and quicker to try out something I've really wanted to do over the past couple years that I've really not financially been able to do. So if I can pick one of those up, even if it's brand new, that's cool. You literally all I'm really thinking in my head is put a set of bark busters, some lower engine guards, throw a little tail bag on the back, and go. And there's the gravel roads, and then about 35, 45 minutes of me, go down there and just get on a gravel road, just cruise, do 25, 30, just have fun, and discover something else about the sport that I've not tried that I really want to do. And I think it'll be fun just to try it out. And like I said, if I don't like it, I hope that was just water on the road. If I don't like it, I just sell the bike and whatever. But I at least want to try it out. I think that would be a better way to do it. Just to try out some off-road riding on a cheaper bike that I'm not worried about so much on beating up as bad. It's not to say I'm going to thrash the bike, but I won't be as heartbroken if that gets a little beat up or a little bit scratched from riding off-road versus something bigger and more expensive. So that's just my take. That's my money smart mind speaking out, I guess. But if y'all have not already done so, please hit the subscribe button below. Leave a comment if you've not already done so, and turn the bell on, as I generally upload once a week on YouTube. And y'all have fun, ride safe. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.